You have the sense that, yes, there's other things that are competing for your awareness, but they're not making you lose it. So the problem of forgetting is the result of being, of your attention being captured by something else long enough for the forgetting to occur, beyond the reach of the short-term memory that knows what you're doing and why you're doing it. So when you start to get to where there's forgetting, but it doesn't last for a long time, if your mind's been wandering for several minutes, there's absolutely no point in trying to remember what caused the forgetting. And there's definitely no point in tracing back through all the different paths that your mind might have gone on through while that was happening. But when the forgetting becomes short, when there's not a lot of mind wandering, when often the thought that was in your mind when the remembering occurs is the same thought that took your attention away long enough for the forgetting to happen. Now it begins to be valuable to notice that thought itself. Up to that point, whatever took you away doesn't matter. But when it might be the same one, it's like as I like to use the analogy that if you had been abducted, you would remember the face of your abductor, and if you saw them coming again, you would be on guard, and it's the same thing. You start to notice the not getting into the content of the thoughts, but noticing them to the extent that you recognize. And of course, what you're going to find is they're familiar thoughts. They're the kinds of things that occupy your mind all the time anyway, every day. All these things that you somehow imagine are really important. The things that you worry about, the things that you hope for, things that you're planning, so on and so forth. So this gives you the opportunity when you're following your meditation object and you are aware that thought's coming up again, you can keep it from capturing your attention and taking you away. What you'll find, though, is one of the reasons it can take you away is they're attractive. Some of the thoughts are attractive, not all of them. Some of them are attractive, and there's this temptation, I want to think about that. This is one of my favorite thoughts. Or sometimes it may not be attractive in that sense. It may be, oh, this is important. This is serious stuff. This is, how can I ignore that? This is a serious thought. So you have to develop that skill of recognizing your mind's reaction when that's there, and just gently bringing your focus back to meditation. So you are training yourself in introspective awareness that allows you to know what you're actually doing in the present, what your mind is doing in the present moment. It's introspective awareness that lets you know that your mind has wandered. But it's also introspective awareness that lets you know that your focus is becoming diffuse, that you're attracted to some other thought or sensation. It's introspective awareness that lets you know that you are at risk of losing your meditation object. You're training yourself in introspective awareness. Actually, this is really what so much of all of meditation is about, is developing introspective awareness. Meditation is an introspective activity. And our awareness is either awareness of an object, or it's introspective awareness of the mind itself. So we actually are using awareness of an object to bring ourselves to train ourselves to have introspective awareness. So you're training yourself in introspective awareness, also training yourself in the ability to direct and sustain attention, which are skills that we already have, but they're hugely under-exercised, and they can become so much stronger. So directing the attention. Anytime that whether you have temporarily lost the meditation object entirely, or whether it's just kind of slipped into the background while you're paying more attention to something else. You're exercising the directed awareness muscle every time you bring it back. And bring it back gently. If you're trying to make your biceps strong, it's the repetition, it's the consistency, right? And as a matter of fact, I don't know if any of you are, probably a lot of you are familiar somewhat with weight training, but if you were doing this with a dumbbell, you'll actually get much better results if you do it slowly and, you might say, gently rather than kind of thing. So don't jerk your mind around. Just gently and firmly direct your attention where you want it to be. Whenever it goes off, bring it back. Whenever it goes off, bring it back. That's the training, and you can't force your mind to do anything, but you can train your mind through repetition to do what you want. So if you keep directing your attention back, what happens is the response of your mind to intention becomes very, very well developed. Your mind becomes pliable. It does what you want it to do. It follows your intention. And as I said, like a muscle, it becomes strong, it becomes firm, it becomes effective. Same thing with sustaining your attention. It's following the sensations of the breath. It's not that there's some magic to be discovered in those sensations. Actually, there is magic to be discovered in those sensations, because absolutely every experience you have is ultimate reality seen through a veil of delusion. So even the sensations of the breath, if you can really see what's there, you're approaching the final goal of the practice. But anyway, at least in these early stages of the practice, it's not that you're going to necessarily discover anything wonderful observing the sensations of your breath. It's that you're exercising your ability to sustain your attention. And that is actually an active process, because when the out-breath has ended, then you need to sustain your attention on the process. You're actually directing and sustaining your attention while you're waiting for the in-breath to begin. And then the beginning of the in-breath, it comes and passes away very quickly. So, there's this active process. That's what I call it, following the breath. You're following the sensations of the breath. You're not letting them get away from you. So, in terms of helping to be fully engaged with the breath, if you find yourself sort of slipping back and you're watching the breath from a distance, that would be easy and that would be comfortable, but you'll also become very vulnerable to losing it. So without excessively agitating the mind by trying too hard, try to stay with the process at some level of awareness that works for you where you are good. And a little bit of anticipation of what's coming next helps to sustain your attention. So if you already have the intention not to miss the beginning of the out breath, even as the in breath is coming to an end, then you're more likely to stay with it. Okay? Okay, well, it's about time for us to sit. I hope this was helpful to you, because the reason that I invited, and it's wonderful that you were here to say, yeah, go ahead. I wanted to talk about this, because until you can get to the place of uninterrupted continuity of attention in the meditation object, so much of your meditation time is going to be lost.